Hey YouTube, what's good? And welcome back to yet another video. Today we have something a little bit more lighthearted, more of a joke, fun meme deck profile. So Totally Awesome just recently came back to 2. Again, never really knew why it was at 1. And I have a cool fun deck around, making more than one toad. Because usually making 2 toads, it's like a late game thing. You can't really do both on turn 1, but maybe my deck here can. So let's jump straight into it. So remember, this deck's more lighthearted. It's not meant to be competitive. It's just meant to be a bit of fun. And I call this deck, I guess, Rescue Toad. And why Rescue Toad? Well, we're playing Rescue Rabbit. And so this card is a 1-card toad. I guess I'll leave the toads up here. So yeah, he's a 1-card toad because you can summon level 2 aquas off him. So you can summon Psychic Kappa or Slime Toad, formerly Frog the Jam, the excluded frog that never worked with any of the other frogs. Probably too many, 6 vanillas, but we do play them alongside my favorite card, 3 Unexpected Die. So we have a generic extender card that if we combine this with any other normal summon, level 2 aqua, we get to make a toad. And I guess why Toad? Why do we care about Toad? Well, Toad's pretty damn good. Omni Negate generates you advantage and steals your opponent's cards. Like, in theory, it's such a broken card. It's just not very easy to summon. That's its problem. So please, Konami, please give us that frog support that we need. That, us water players desperately need. Because I love frogs. They're like one of my favorites. Anyway, moving on. Another reason why we play so many water monsters here, we get to play 3 Moray of Greed. So you have all these bad vanilla monsters in our hand, water ones, shuffle them back into the deck and draw 3. And then one of the best interactions with these cards is our ability to play Cyframe Gamma. So, why Gamma? Well, Rescue Rabbit is a really powerful card, right? So if you summon this and you banish it, you're summoning 2 of these guys and you're making a toad. You're slamming it straight away. They want to ash this. Goes without saying. They kind of have to ash it or else their ash will be useless, right? They want to ash Moray of Greed. They don't want you to draw 3 cards. Like, that's bad. So then you have Gamma to help you protect those plays to make sure that they go through. So again, these cards, this part of the deck, they're all best friends. All about making a simple 1-card easy toad or having extenders for toad. Maybe in a competitive deck, if you wanted to play more competitive, maybe you wouldn't go for 6 of these, maybe just 1 set of them. Maybe don't play as many Moray of Greed, but this deck's a lot of fun, guys. Like, when you go first and you get your toad on the field, or even sometimes double toad, it can be really, really, really fun. And so, of course, because we're playing a frog deck, 2 Rodent Toad, 3 Dupe Frog, and 3 Swap Frog. Some really nice Japanese secret rare Swap Frogs. Please, Konami, do it in TCG. So yeah, you want to draw Swap Frog. Konami, please give us a searcher for this card that is good. Yeah, goes without saying, if you have Rescue Rabbit and Swap Frog, usually you can get double toad on the field on your first turn. Really, really, really nice. Okay, and then to go along with a Totally Awesome theme, the Water Monsters, Aqua, 2 Gamma Seal. Well, it double threat in this deck. We can use it for Totally Awesome's effect. We can use it to out problem cards like Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon. Win-win. Okay. So that goes for first part, and then of course Harpy's Feather Duster because we don't like back row and we like to sack our outs to back row. Okay, so our power level of our deck is naturally low, so we need to play some Floodgates. So I'm going to play Imperial Order. I'm also going to play Skill Drain. So the thing about Skill Drain is, if you tribute Totally Awesome for its own effect, you can actually dodge the negative effects of Skill Drain. So for example, standby phase, when this is still set, you can still detach from your toad, summon out your frog out of your deck, get your advantage, and then after the fact, if your opponent's perhaps popping off a bit too hard, being a bit too threatening, bang, you get to flip your skill drain, and then you get to just trip it off your Toad. That will dodge skill drain because Toad is no longer on the field, and then Toad will add back more water monsters, so then you can make more Toads and more monsters on your next turn. So usually skill drain hurts your opponent more than it hurts you. And then continuing on, the floodgates, 2 Gozen match, 2 Rivalry of Warlords. So a lot of decks nowadays, they'll combo into Halgi Firebrax. They'll deter from the cards they play in their main deck to go for these really broken extra deck monsters. We're not playing those, we're playing Totally Awesome. So we can take advantage of these, I guess, board wipe floodgates that we can maybe even draw going second, and we can flip them to force things to happen to our opponent, usually for our benefit. Again, depending on the format and what decks people play, you probably have 2 or 3 copies in your main or the rest in your side, just based on how it goes. And then rounding it out, more hand traps just so we don't auto die, imperm, good generic effect, negation, and we got to keep our Toad alive. So 2 Solemn Judgment. Again, if you know you're going first, probably want to play 3 because you need to keep your Toad alive. Your whole deck is around Totally Awesome. Rescue Toad into Toad. Because Toad's at 2, we can make double Toad. Okay, extra deck. What else are we playing into except Toad? Well, Cat Shark, of course. If you don't know what it does, 2 level 2, can't be destroyed by battle if it has a water monster as material. And then other player's turn, you can detach, target a rank 4 or lower XYZ and double its attack. So your little 22 Toad can go to 44. Wow, amazing. And another rank 2. Sky Cavalry Centuriae? I think? Centuriae. Really good card, cannot be destroyed while it has XYZ materials. After it battles, you can detach from it to bounce the monster it battled back to the hand. So this is really good. That doesn't target. Outs, Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon. Clears problem monsters for you that your Toad won't be able to. So your Toad will call in the cavalry for some backup. Alright, so Link monsters. So really good friend of Toad is Mr. Boy. So if you don't know, a classic play that this deck can do is double Starboy Toad. Why? This is exactly 8,000 damage because everything gets 1,000 boost. So we go to 24, 24, 48, and then 32. 32, 48, AK. So on your second turn, if you've controlled the game state, you can make this under all your floodgate cards and the game can just end. So that's why a good reason to play double Mr. Boy. A good little extended play, Coral Anemone. Again, free water monsters is always good. Even though it locks you into water monsters, you don't care because your deck's just making cards like Toad anyway. And Mr. Boy, it's fine. So we're playing Aria, the Water Charmer. So I guess the biggest advantage of playing this card would be in cases where your opponent has used their Hagi Firebrax, you can actually summon this and steal their Hagi Firebrax, so you can go into a Link 4 if you want to. But then it's, Link 4. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of Link 4s that, you have option to. Again, far too many that I can list in this video, but just quickly rounding out what you definitely should play. So I guess to clarify, these are the extra deck cards you definitely should play. Generic cards like Phoenix, Unicorn, Access Code, very generic, very easy to make, going second, break boards. And then you also need to play Link Spider. Why do you need to play Link Spider? Well, if you have a hand like a vanilla, say a useless frog like Dupe Frog, and with die, you can actually do hands where die out a Slime Toad. I mean, you die a Slime Toad out of your deck, you turn it into Link Spider, and then Link Spider effect, special summon, and then normal summon your Dupe Frog. It just gives you free material to work with in case of these really bad hands where you have all these useless level 2 aquas. Gives you that additional body on the field. Okay, so how many cards is that? That's 12. And so I guess what I would have next would be like the optional Link monsters. So, cards like Apollosa is always good. I personally, historically, big fan of playing the Topologics when I play frog cards, because again, your deck lacks powerful removal. So again, turn 2, you can easily combo into these cards and then use Ronin Toad, summon back to the zone they're pointing to, and trigger them. And even more so, sometimes after you do that, you can just make a Toad in another zone. Absolutely fine. And of course, we are in the format of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, so we can play Boral Sword. And then another really obscure one, Marincess Bubble Reef. This would be a case where you lock yourself into summoning only waters with Coral Anemone. You can actually make this, and this card gains attack. I think it gains 600 attack each time a card is banished face up. So again, turn 2, turn 3, if you have multiple Ronin Totems going, you can actually make this, banish your Ronin Totems, banish cards with Ronin Totem, and then you can actually get this to very high amount of attack points, just for the rare case that you're locked underwater. Anyway guys, I guess honorable mention to other cards, like, Paleo Dynamiscus, level 2 Aqua. Paleo cards in general are very good in our deck because, of course, they make Toad. Again, another honorable mention card like Salvage. I mean, we're already salvaging cards anyway. For Forbidden Droplet as well, quite good because we get a lot of free cards off our Toad, and then we also steal our opponent's cards. So we get to take them and set them, and then we can send them, if we don't need them, off Droplet. Very good, very cool. Alright, and then other floodgates, like Summon Limit, mainly because you get summon on your opponent's turn with your Toad, and then on your turn, you only really have to summon one other card, and then your second summon would be a second Toad. So Summon Limit's definitely another floodgate card that you could think of. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning into my more fun, light-hearted deck profile that I call Rescue Toad. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. Jonga5 at chaoticfactory.com. Peace out, guys. Thank you.